Today I'm going to be making cake pops, and what I have here is cake that I did in another video. I will put a link to that video at the end of this video. This here is the Wilton buttercream icing. I have a half a cup here, and I'm going to link to that at the end of this video as well. So what I've done is I've taken one of the cakes that I made in this chocolate cake recipe that I made, and that is one of the cakes in there. And what we want to do is break it up, and then we're just going to add in as much icing as we need to get this all coming together so that we can form little balls for our cake pops. So what I've done to start off the process is I've just dumped the cake in there, and what we want to do is we want to use a large bowl because it's just going to be easier for mixing. So at this point here, there's our cake, and I'm just going to get my mixer in there, and I'm just going to start getting this all blended up so that we have like crumbs. And this is a very, very moist cake. We're not going to need a lot of icing in this cake. Some cakes, if they're drier, you're going to need more icing. So I'm just going to mix this up, break it up, just like that. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is just get some of that icing in. I'm just going to start off with a little bit. So this here is a half a cup. I don't think we're going to use all of that. And you know, I'm not giving specific measurements for this because everybody's cake batter is going to be slightly different, and you really do have to try it out at home and see exactly what you need for the cake to actually hold together. Now, I've been shooting in automatic mode, by the way, so it's probably all fuzzy. I just want to show you how moist this is. So we just grab a little bit. You know what? I'm going to remove my rings. I forgot to. I'm sorry about that. I just want to show you here. And there we go. I'm going to add a little bit more icing to this because I think that it needs it. So let's just add a little bit more in there. So let's get all that in there. And you really do want to get a consistency that you think is right, so that the balls actually really hold together well, because you don't want them breaking apart. However, once we put our actual candy topping on there, which is our little candy melts, you know, the actual chocolate, that will hold everything together. And I think that's good, just like that. That looks much better now. So let's check that out. Let's just grab a little bit and just see. You see that? Just adding that little bit, and you can see now these are holding together much better. Alright, that's good. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to clean off my beaters here because I don't want to waste any of this. I'll clean up my area, and then we're going to start forming the little cake pops. Okay, so our next step is to actually create the balls, and I'm going to go through what I have here. So we have our cake mix and our buttercream icing that we've mixed together here. I also have some little popsicle sticks. These are little, cake pop sticks. You can get these at most craft stores today. These are a couple dollars for about 100 of them. So they're pretty inexpensive. I also have some candy melts here, and I'm using white. So let's get on with the next step. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to melt these in the microwave. These are the white candy melts. I'm going to use the defrost mode, and I'm going to melt all of these down. So that's the first thing to do. Alright, so I've just melted these. I used my defrost mode, and I just did 20 seconds, and then another 15, another 15. I just did that, I don't know how long, about 45 seconds or so. So there we go. That's perfect. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start actually making our little cake pops. So I'm going to grab my batter here, and we'll start on that. Alright, so I have my little scoop here, and I'm just going to grab our mixture here. And I want to kind of make them all the same, so I want to make sure that I get them pretty well the same. So there we go, and that will help me, you know, all get them uniform in size. So we just want to roll with our hands like this, and there we go, that looks pretty good. So there's one. Get it on there. And if you're going to be serving these to anyone else but your close family, what I would suggest is that you use gloves. Because I think everybody would appreciate that you use gloves and didn't use bare hands. So there we go. So I'll make a few more of these. You can see how quickly it goes when you have a scoop like this. So I'll just get it there. And your hands will get very greasy while doing this. And there we go. Now, I'm not going to make all of these on the video, but I'll do a few. I'll do 6. So we just roll, roll, roll. There we go. And I'll do another one. Just like that. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to go wash my hands. I'll be back in a second. So I'm going to take one of my sticks and I want to dip it into the white chocolate. Just put a good amount on. And then what you want to do is just take it and push it right into the cake mixture. Just like that. So I'll do another one. And this is just going to act as a glue to hold those little sticks in our cake mixture. There we go. I'm just going to put those in like that. I'll just speed this up, I guess. And just give it a little push. And go down about 3/4 of the way. And we'll push again. There we go. Beautiful. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let these dry. Now you can either just let them sit here. If you've got a lot of time, you can just let them sit like that and they will dry on their own. Or what you can do is you can put them in the fridge for about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, just so that everything solidifies. I would suggest that you do put them in the fridge because we also want the cake to get a little bit chilly because we're going to be dipping it into that same chocolate later on. So I am going to put mine in the fridge. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put mine gently onto a plate. And I'm going to get these into the fridge. I'm going to leave them there a good 10 minutes and then we'll come back and we'll get on to the next step. Alright, so while our little cake pops are chilling in the fridge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up some little candy canes. And I just bought these the other day. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get all of these unwrapped and then we're going to crush them inside the little Ziploc baggie, and we're going to make some little, little candy cane crumbs. Because today I'm making Christmas themed cake pops. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to get all of these out of their package, and I'll be back in a second. All right, let's get our candy canes into our little Ziploc bag. There we go. Just make sure you close it up properly. And now we're just going to start breaking that up with the rolling pin. Another little tip is that if you find it hard breaking these up, what you can do is take a little hammer, if you've got a hammer, and just gently knock all of them down till they're really broken down. Then take your rolling pin and do the final touches like that. Alright, so what I've done here, we're going to need something for our cake pops. I've just taken a piece of styrofoam and I've just covered it with some plastic wrap. So we're going to be placing our little cake pops into there like that, just to hold them. Where are we here? There we go. Just while we're letting them dry. Okay, so what I've got here, I've got our chocolate. I also have our little bitties that we made before, and we also have the cake pops. So there we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, there we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our chilled cake pop. We're just going to dip it into the chocolate, just like that. And I'm just going to let all of the excess just drip off. I just want to go around the bottom to make sure it's fully covered. There we go, beautiful. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it drip off. And if you want to help it a little bit, you can give it a little tap. Just like that. Now there are two ways that we can cover these. What we can do is we can go right into our little crumbs, our little candy cane crumbs, or what you can do is you can just sprinkle them right over. So I've got a bowl here because I want to catch everything that's going in there, and then you can just take them and just kind of like go like this. Just very gently, just like that. Or what you can do is just pick them up by hand and just sprinkle like that. So the bowl is catching everything. So we can reuse these, just like that. You can use a spoon. Whatever way works for you. There are no rules. I'm not saying this is the best way. You could take them and dip them right in there, but then you run the risk of getting, you know, your stuff mixed in, you know, and I wouldn't want that. So there we go. You can put, you know, as much as you want or as little as you want. There we go. So there's our first one. There we go. Then I'm just going to take it and put it into our styrofoam, just like that. Just get it right in there. There we go. And we'll get on to the next one. I'll do my next one. You can just get it right in there. And if you put more chocolate in your, you know, your little vessel, the better off you'll be. You can use a cup as well, but I like using these because I have a little cap that I can just put over the chocolate when I'm done. So for me, I find this is a very, you know, good way to do it. So I'm just going to let the chocolate completely encase the cake mixture. And there we go, beautiful. So now I'm just going to let it drip off. I'll just let it drip. And just gently tap it. And if your chocolate is really, really warm, what's going to happen is it's not going to set as quickly. So try not to have your chocolate really, really warm. So there we go. Beautiful. And then we'll put some more of the candy cane. Am I on camera here? Yes. And we'll just get those on. And what's nice about doing it this way is that when you have no more left in the tiny bowl, then you can just pour these back in there and start again. You can buy these already made at most bulk stores around this time of year. There we go. That looks pretty good. And that is going to be delicious. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to move my camera. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more for the next one so that we can actually see what's going on a little bit better. Oh, that looks so good. And then I'll just show you again. So I just grab this and I'm just going to pop it right on there. Sorry for the noise. There we go. And there's number 2. Beautiful. So I'll just zoom in the camera and I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, I've just zoomed in a little bit. So we'll try another one. So we'll grab the cake pop and we'll just give it a little spin. There, see, I got it all in one shot there. These are great little bowls. These are Pyrex. You know, I guess Tupperware has the same kind of thing. You know, different brands. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to let the chocolate drip off. I wish you could smell the candy canes. They smell really good. So I'm just going to let this dry a little bit here. Whoops, I dipped it back in there. Grab our candy cane mixture here, and away we go. And there we go, beautiful, look at that. I think I might have been off camera there when I did that. I'm going to do another one. There we go, beautiful. And I'll get that one onto our little styrofoam over here. There we go. Alright, let's do another one. Let's try to stay on camera here. Alright, here we go. So we're going into the chocolate. And we'll just let it drip off. And I'll just move this out of the way. There we go. And we'll grab, see, I'm not on camera here, here we go. And then I'm going to sprinkle those on. We'll just sprinkle these. There we go, beautiful. And there we go, beautiful. So there we go, there's another one. Alright, let me just zoom out a little bit. There we go. So I've done 4, so hopefully you get the idea. I've got 2 more to do, so I'm just going to do those quickly. I guess I'll just let the camera roll, and I'll come back when we're all done. What's nice about the candy melts is that once they're cooled, it acts as a nice shell, you know, kind of like an egg, and it protects the cake inside, so the cake is going to stay moist, and it also will, you know, it'll help it from falling apart. So there we go, that's good, beautiful. Alright, so I did the rest of my cake pops, and now you only see 3 left, and the reason why is they got eaten. Yes, I had little munchkins, and they couldn't wait, so they got into a couple of them. I just want to show you what the inside looks like. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, and I'll show you, I'm going to just cut into it, and I'll show you what the inside looks like. Alright, so let's just cut into it. I would have taken a bite, but I thought it would just be better to just take a little slice off and just show you what it looks like. So we'll just cut it down here, and I'll just show you the inside. And there we go. Very, very moist inside. And we got our crunchy little outside. So there we go. Yum. So those are my candy cane cake pops. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.